Welcome, everybody. Today's lesson is on graduated cylinders, how to measure liquids, and how to read a graduated cylinder. These are pictures of graduated cylinders. You notice that some are small and some are large, and there are many in our lab, and we will pick the right ones for the volume that we're going to measure. Now, there's other ways to measure liquids in a lab. You could use a beaker or flask, but these measurements on the side are just to be estimates, so never use it to measure anything accurately. Graduated cylinders are preferred if you want to have a more accurate measurement. And then there are things like volumetric flasks pictured here or pipettes pictured here, which are also very accurate, but today's lesson is going to be on graduated cylinders. When you have a liquid in a container, the liquid may be attracted to the container, and you'll get something caused by surface tension, and the attraction of the liquid may make the sides of the liquid move upwards. So here's a picture here with the red liquid, and you might see it better in this drawing here that the liquid is curved upwards, kind of attracted to the glass here. Some liquids, like mercury, are not attracted to the glass, and you will have an upside down meniscus like this. And you always read at the bottom for A, or this red liquid, or the top for B. Now, we're not going to be using mercury in class. It's too dangerous. So we're going to concentrate just on using A, where the meniscus is curved upwards by the glass or the plastic. And we're going to read the bottom of this meniscus. When you read the graduated cylinder, another important thing besides reading the bottom of the meniscus is to get down and read it at eye level. If you hold it above your eyes, you might read it too high. If you hold it below your eyes, you might read it too low. So you want to get down to eye level. Notice this person has a card, like a 3x5 card behind it, where they've made this rectangle and darkened it. And sometimes that helps you read a graduated cylinder. So you can make a card like that if you'd like to. Unlike digital balances, where you just put the object on the balance and it gives you a number and you write down all the numbers, with graduated cylinders, you're sometimes going to have to estimate or read between the lines. The liquid level might not sit exactly on the line, and so now you're going to have an estimate. We call that uncertainty in measurement. So if I read this graduated cylinder, I'm going to estimate between these two lines and give a reading. And that estimate is considered the place of uncertainty. So how do I go about deciding how many places I'm going to read this graduated cylinder to? Well, here's the rule of thumb that we're going to use for this class. The uncertainty, or how we're going to read this, is to take the smallest increment, that's one of these little lines, and divide that value by 10. Most of you can probably determine the smallest increment just by looking at it. 50 is down here, 60 is up here, and what do these little lines represent? They represent 1 milliliter. If that's hard for you just to see on your own, you can follow this kind of pattern. Here's 50 and here's 60, so there's 10 milliliters from here to here. And there are also 10 lines from here to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we count this top one also 10. So there are 10 lines between 50 and 60. There are 10 milliliters from 50 to 60. So 10 milliliters divided by 10 lines equals 1 milliliter. So each of these lines on this graduated cylinder is worth 1 milliliter. So that's how we can determine what these little lines are worth. But what about our estimates? We're going to do better than just measuring at the lines. We're going to measure between the lines. So we take the smallest increment, which is 1, and divide it by 10, and we get plus or minus 0.1. That's what we're going to read this graduated cylinder to. We're going to read it to the 10th place. So make sure you write down this equation in your notes. Uncertainty, or the plus or minus, equals the smallest increment divided by 10. So let's go and read this. If these each are worth 1, This is 51, 52. So the bottom of this meniscus is between 52 and 53. Now, each of us may measure that slightly different, but that's okay as long as we're close in the 10th place. So I'm going to estimate this as 52.8. It's just a little bit below the 53. So this reads this properly, 52.8 plus or minus 0.1 milliliters. So what do you do if the meniscus or the bottom of the meniscus is actually on a line, right? So here we have 10, here we have 20. That's a difference of 10 milliliters. And there are 10 lines between these 10 milliliters. So once again, the smallest line in this case is 1 milliliter. So the uncertainty is 1 milliliter divided by 10 is 1/10 of a milliliter. It's the same as the last picture I showed you. Now, in science, it is wrong to say this is 17 milliliters in this graduated cylinder. Why is that? Because I have just figured out I can read this to the 10th place. So I must say that I can read it to the 10th place and convey that to the reader. And to do that, I have to record my value to the 10th place also. So I'm going to read this as 17.0 plus or minus 0.1. So that may seem strange, but numbers in science have two meanings. They tell you the quantity or the magnitude, how big is that number, and the place of uncertainty. So in science, 17 does not equal 17.0. 17 means you had used an instrument that is only plus or minus something in the ones place. So the range of that value may be from 16 to 18. But if you report 17.0, you are telling the other readers of your material that you used an instrument that is plus or minus in the 10th place, which means the range is 16.9 to 17.1, a much smaller range of numbers compared to just 17. So it's very important in science that you read it to the same place as the uncertainty. So if your instrument reads plus or minus 0.1, you're going to read your value to the 10th place, even if you have to put a 0 there. If you use a much larger instrument and the plus or minus place is plus or minus 100, you are going to read to the 100th place. For example, if the plus or minus is 0.1, you're not going to write 12 plus or minus 0.1. That would be too few of digits. You're also not going to write 12.02 plus or minus 0.1 because that's too many digits. These are good. You could say 12.1 plus or minus 0.1 or 12.0 plus or minus 0.1, but whatever you read this to has to be the same place as the plus or minus value of the instrument you are using. So we don't write too many or too few. So let's say you could only read it to the 100th place. So you wouldn't write too many digits down. You wouldn't write 373 if you were plus or minus 100. You wouldn't even write 370 if you were plus or minus 100. But you could write something like 400 plus or minus 100. So you don't write too many or too few of digits based on the plus or minus. Now you try it. Pause the video with the picture on the screen, and I kind of helped you out with the meniscus by putting a blue dotted line. Read the value and the uncertainty, and we'll see if you get it right. Well, welcome back. Did you get it right? Be careful, each of these lines is not 0.1 like it has been in the past. This is 6 and this is 8, and there are 10 markings between them. So now 2 milliliters divided by 10 is 0.2 milliliters. So each of these small lines is worth 0.2 milliliters, not 0.1 milliliter. We're going to divide that by 10, and so we can read this to 0.02 milliliters. So this is 6, 6.2, 6.4, 6.6, 6.8. So it's somewhere between 6.6 and 6.8. I'm going to estimate that 6.63 plus or minus 0.02 milliliters. Now, you may have said something else. Maybe you said 6.61 to 6.65, and then you would also be correct. So let's try it again. This time, pause the video and estimate the value here and include the plus or minus for the graduated cylinder. Pause the video and then we'll see if you get it right. Did you get it? I said it was 36.5 plus or minus 0.1 milliliters. Hopefully that's what you got. Let's try it one last time. Be careful of what each of the little increments means. See if you can read this. Pause the video and we'll see. Did you get it? I said this was 20, 20.5, 21, 21.5, and it's right on this line. So I said 21.5, but I have to read this to the 0.5 place. So I have 21.50 plus or minus 0.05. So I hope you got that. We'll practice in class. Thanks for listening.